What's up, everybody? Your buddy Dave from Maryland. Well, I thought I'd talk about my first job when I was a lad. A couple of our friends, Dago Cleo, better known as DC, and the lovely Daddy, better known as Steve, told us about their first jobs. Well, mine goes back to when I was 16. It was the summer of, what year would that be? 67, maybe? 1967. And school was out, and I was looking for something to make some money during the summer. And I happened across this fella that had an eatery tent that you put up at the fairgrounds and serve hamburgers and coffee and soft drinks and stuff like that. And I said, well, that sounds like some fun, you know. It's a fairgrounds, it'd be an adventure. And so I joined up, and there was our crew of, I guess, 10 of us. And we had this big old tractor trailer that the tent and everything fit into, and would go around to the different fairgrounds in the different counties in Ohio. That's when I lived in Ohio. I grew up in Ohio. And so we went to all the different spots in Ohio, the county fairs, and a couple in Michigan, and would wind up, the final fair we would do would be the state fair in Ohio there in Columbus. And anyway, so what we do when we get to each fairgrounds, the carnies, you know, as we call them, the carnival people, would be setting up their rides and stuff like that they get going. And for us, we had this big tent, and we had seats that a counter that went along both sides of the tent with seats on both sides for people to sit at. It was a fairly good sized tent. And then of course inside, facing out towards Midway there, where everybody would be walking, you know, by, have the grill set up there just on the inside of the tent, the grill and French fryers, and excuse me. And then, of course, we had the coffee makers and soda fountains set on the inside of the tent there. And some of the fellas would wait on the customers and bring their food. And then, of course, there was me and another fella that would cook the hamburgers and the buns and get all the food ready, you know, that the customers would order. And while we were standing there, and of course we're cooking up the food on the grill there, would be talking out to the crowd, you know, it'd be yelling, swinging doors and hardwood floors, seats all around like a merry-go-round. Come on in, folks. Go for bread and a pound of meat and all the mustard you can eat. Come on in, folks. That was a lot of fun. And of course, after we closed at night, you know, and got everything cleaned up, we'd go sleep on cots inside the empty tractor trailer there. The owner had his own little, I guess, small Winnebago type deal he pulled on with his truck that him and his wife would stay in and sleep in. And and the rest of us would sleep on cots or whatever, in the tractor trailer thing there. It was fun. Each time we went to a town, we'd go into town, you know, and in our spare time and look around. A couple of guys like to go and have a beer or something and drink, but of course, I wasn't old enough to drink, you know, being 16, but they'd slip me a small sip once in a while, a glass of beer or whatever. And back then, the drinking age was 18. Now it's 21. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Each place had the carny set up the rides, and then of course they had the 4-H'ers, you know, the local farm kids that bring in their projects and their farm animals, and have all those around. And when we wanted to take a shower or something, there were shower spots on the fairgrounds and bathrooms and stuff where we'd take showers, right, and, you know, and have facilities there to use. And for a 16-year-old kid, you know, me, I was the youngest. Yeah, that was quite an adventure, traveling around to different spots in Ohio and Michigan, a couple of places in Michigan. And then winding up, of course, at the State Fair there in Columbus. And once we finished that, we headed on back to where our hometown was there in Xenia, Ohio. That was fantastic, and we got paid at the end of the season. You know, we got back to Xenia there in town. The owner came out and he'd give us a big wad of cash. You know, he kept the count on the books of how much was owed. You know, of course, you could always borrow off the books while we were, you know, on the road. You know, and in different towns, if you wanted some money, you could borrow from what was owed you. And of course, you were paid the difference at the end of the season. But yeah, it was a nice little stack of money there, and I put that away. And at the end of the season, of course, September, I turned 17 into that summer, and I took that wad of cash. And I had met some dude that was working there locally that was from, his parents were, whatever, was from someplace in Ohio, and he had joined up to work there halfway through where we were going. And had come up from Florida, and he was just making money to go back, so I lit out for Florida with that guy, and wound up in St. Petersburg, Florida, right on the beach there. Talk about a 17-year-old's dream. That's the best thing I ever did, was leaving Ohio. And wound up down in St. Petersburg, Florida, and it's been an adventure ever since. All the way through up into now. So yeah, that was a great time in my life and a great experience, and it got me on the road to adventure instead of sitting around Ohio for all my life. You know, like, you know, some people stay in the same old town all the time their whole life, and nothing wrong with that, I guess. But I sure have had a lot of fun. I've been all around the country, and with the Navy, I saw a lot of the world. So it's been great. But yep, that was my first job. So, working the county fairs all around Ohio, and so that was special and different. So there you have it. If any of you feel like it, some of you old dinosaurs like me especially, go ahead and make a video and let us know how your first job went, your first adventure. Okay, that's it. Your buddy Dave. I'm going to Go ahead and cruise on out of this jungle. Catch y'all later. I am out.